Okay, so quickly jumping back on, this might be a shorter video where I might be showing you this to you guys while this video, other video is being recorded. I wanted to let you guys know a challenge that I got recently. I was with patient A, as well, if you guys all know, and she was actually, hold on one second. Hi, and welcome back. If you guys are watching this little clip, the clip is just showing you, telling you guys about a little challenge that I got. I don't know if you watched the other previous video or the videos being connected together. I don't know how myself is going to do this. So if you're watching it, this is a challenge that I got after the video was completed. And I wanted to share this. My patient, person A, was talking to me and we got October 25th, 2021 at 9:54 a.m. They didn't give us a time zone when the natural disaster would take place. They say that east and west coast, there will be two tsunamis, one on the east coast, one on the west coast. They will come up and merge and meet in the middle where Texas or the red wall is, where Nebraska is, and it will go up like this, the water collide, then it's going to crash down and then pull apart. So the waters are going to be both on the east and the west. My guys told me that there will be nowhere to hide. Watch out for the Cascadian earthquake, as that will be the biggest one. So that might be the 12 on the Richter scale, where the Andreas fault will be the 10. We also have here as well is that the 5 earthquakes that will happen one after another. 2 of them will take place in the Pacific Ocean. 1 of them will be in the Atlantic Ocean, right on Long Island. Another one will be in New Zealand. And another one is going to take place in an unknown location. We have here iceberg off the country of Greenland. It was already started before the tsunami, so there will be iceberg that will be smashing into the land. We will also have here as well as New York City will be a city of the past. It will be known as the Western City or the City of the West. The way that we view Egypt now is the way that we're going to view New York City as well. We have here potentially person A, do you mind telling them a little bit about that individual that talked about the Atlantis? Because it was interesting because I accidentally said Atlantic Ocean, but when I went to go say Atlantic Ocean, I accidentally said Atlantis. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
It was Sylvia Brown. She made some predictions that Atlantis was going to reemerge, or be discovered. I can't remember why. I was telling you, I can't remember. It's might be because of some earthquakes. Many things happen because of some major earthquakes. And in the course of that, Atlantis could be discovered. And you kept saying Atlantis. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's why we mentioned it, because she mentioned that I kept saying it, and that could be tied into it. Another one is the worst case scenario. Now, please keep in mind, I'm just the messenger of the channeler. Don't shoot me, okay? Just because you're upset. Don't be scared. This is just meant to happen. If it's meant to happen, there's nothing that we can do. Remember, in order for us to go to the 5D, you must die here on the 3D in order to go transition, right? You can't have 2 different bodies, 2 different copies, in 2 different locations, and expect yourself to be smooth sailing. You have to disappear from this one in order to live in the 5D. The worst case scenario that I saw is Biden will be in surgery when this thing is taking place. Kamala will be acting president or temporary president. Basically, we'll just say when a president goes into surgery or there's some sort of complication or they're away from the country, potentially maybe in another country or another part of the world, the person who's here, like the vice president who's here, will be acting president. We also have here Kamala will be acting president. When the tsunami hits, it will be too late for them to remove President Biden from the hospital, because maybe he might be on the 5th floor of the hospital, potentially might be very close. Just say the tsunami is 1 hour away, and only have, and Biden to say on, for example, is on open surgery and is on the OR room and the wound is open. How do you necessarily close the wound in time and get him out of the hospital safely and fly him at just a high enough height where it just goes just above the tsunami wave, right? And we have here Kamala Harris would be permanently decided as the president. They will go with the person, whoever's based on location-wise, who will be the most safest, or who the one that they can think the most safe will be designated president, not necessarily be permanently president, but we consider designated president in case the other one disappears or dies. That's why I just got. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it just means that that's one of many possibilities that could take place. This is the best one, but everything else that I gave you before the worst case scenario, that's what I have. Most likely the October 25th, 2021 at 9:54 a.m. That could very well take place on October 24th, 2021, but that could be in October 25th could be taking place in Australia, while October 24th would be taken here. It really depends. My guys didn't want to give me a specific time zone, so it could be anywhere around the world. Do you have anything else that you would like?
Yeah, one interesting thing was we were looking up October 25th, 2021, and when I saw Ray Bradbury in my singing bowl deal, I didn't actually get the title, and I was like, Dandelion Wine or Something Wicked This Way Comes. I looked up Something Wicked This Way Comes, and the story is set on October 24th.
Which is ironic because like the reason why we knew you weren't supposed to get it was because we were supposed to find this out later on about it, you know what I mean? Which is interesting, which is really interesting. And you know, while she was doing that, I was actually looking up simultaneously because I added up the numbers October 25th, 2021 at 9:54 a.m. I would add up October, which is the number 10. You add up the two digits together, it makes a 1, 2 plus 5, so 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 equals 13, which 3 plus 1 equals 4. Then we have 9 plus 5 plus 4, which I believe is actually 18, which is 9. So if you add up 9 plus 4, it actually makes 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. So I looked up 13, 13. And I typed in national disasters on Google afterwards, and the EU document came up, and it said 1313 2013, an EU document stating and talking about a document and a preparal for natural disasters. So that is what I got. So it's actually confirmation for what we were reading on today. Yeah. Is there anything else that we would like to talk about? Is there anything else that we got?
Yes, about the about COVID. You were talking about COVID and the fourth wave.
Oh yes. Okay, so this is a little sidetrack based on what we were talking about. A lot of you guys may have been part of my channel since the beginning. A lot of you have not, as most of you have came in later on. So thank you for also coming and supporting my channel, of course. A lot of you guys may have remembered me mentioning that there will be a fourth vaccine, and I spoke about this a long time ago that there was going to be 3 major waves, and if we don't listen, there will be a 4th one, and that 4th one is going to be super deadly. It's not going to kill or wipe out any other older generation past the millennial generation, particularly because it's going to affect my generation, which is Gen Z, and the millennial generation. And the reason for that is that our immune system is what's going to be killing our bodies rather than the virus to stop. It causes the body to attack itself, causing the body to turn blue. So it's going to act the same way that it happened to the influenza disease when the 4th wave killed young people. I see the same thing happening in terms of COVID during the 4th wave. So definitely if you have children, and they make sure that they are safe first, as they will be the most vulnerable. So if you are considering or you feel very worried about letting your children go to school this semester or this year, consider having a child stay home instead. Now that's entirely up to you. You can take it with a grain of salt. Again, this is just channel messages that I got. Of course, take that out what you want and what you will. Please keep in mind it's just for entertainment purposes only, of course. And that I also got as well that there was a 4th vaccine come out in the month of April of 2021. And at the time I did this video, I think it was around October, a month after my channel had started. And I said that there was going to be a vaccine that comes out. There was brand new vaccine reporting coming from April. I said that there would be 3 brand new vaccines that are currently in the works in April, and that potentially they could be released as soon during the 4th wave. So that is entirely up to us and see what exactly happened. but I do see that in terms of the COVID wave, that it will be pretty bad. It's going to be probably one of the worst. And the reason why my generation will be wiped out particularly is because my generation is the most woke generation out of the rest of them. And therefore, the more less woke you are, the more likely you are going to stay on this planet until you become woke. And that is because everybody's going to go to the 5D. Excuse me. But you have your own path, you have your own pattern. So not everybody's going to go there right away. So it's really entirely up to what can and what will happen. So that is what I got. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Person A?
No, you channeled some really good political stuff, which I think maybe you're going to do another video.
Yes, I'm going to do that in another video. I'm going to talk about my dream that I had that I made a video on my channel earlier to go, and how a lot of that came to fruition.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for being with me, Person A. I really do appreciate it. Guys, if you're watching this and the video is longer than this part of the section, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't feel free to let me know in the comment section below what you do think of this. Please, again, if you guys would like to take part in something like this again, of course, let me know in the description if you are interested in, and I'll message you. And of course, or you can email me, of course, and we can set something up. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy it, and I love you, and hope you have a very good day, and enjoy the video. Bye. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to have you. If you are new here, welcome. Welcome to my channel. Here we're going to be talking about today with a very special guest. Her name is Patient A. And we're going to be talking about the incoming tsunami and the big one that's going to happen in California. The last time I updated you guys on this was in April 10th, 2021. I'll link all my tsunami and earthquake videos in the description below if you want to check them out. We do have a very special guest, and this is all the information I provided to you then. I will go over to you briefly what they were. And I have her here today. She had a new dream that we're going to talk about, and we're going to update you on what it is that happened. So if you guys need to get more information, we can provide you with more deeper intel and update you along the way. So on April 10th, 2021, we have that the earthquake, in terms of when an earthquake shaken, will be between 3 to 5 minutes long. It will be a number 12 on the Richter scale, which will be undetected by the Richter scale, which detect earthquake and whether the movement and the shaking. Also get as well, there will be a 10-point earthquake as well. The tsunami will be from 1,000 to 100,000 feet. That was actually incorrect. It will actually be 1,000 to 30,000 feet, because the helicopter I explained in another video was only the highest amount was 30,000. Excuse me, I was tend to stutter. We have a 2-minute evacuation time. All infrastructure is unreliable. California will become a Bay Area. Icy starvation, pollution, polluted water supply, which is in Southern California. There will be nuclear matter and volcanic activity, basically on the border of Nevada and California. We have here eruption from San Andreas fault line. 200 million people will be affected by this. Potentially, this is worldwide in the Pacific Ring. Anybody who lives west of the Mississippi River will be unsafe or affected by this drastically. People who go to clubs or party at night or bars, they will be more likely to die because this earthquake will strike around 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. And this will take place during an election or before or even after the recall election in California. And that is what I got on April 10, 2021. We had the recall election less than a month away in California. The recall election takes place on September 14th. And so we're not only going to be doing a dream interpretation today, we're also going to be interpreting and asking the tarot cards what potential things that could happen and will this thing occur. So we'll be taking a look at that as well. If it doesn't happen, I did say that was going to happen from May to July, early July, or if it didn't happen those months, it was going to happen either from August all the way till December of 2021. And if it didn't happen this year, this year is the most strongest in terms of energy. If it doesn't happen, what happen within the next 5 years is what I got. So anyway, we're just gonna I'll be to you guys in a moment. All right, guys, so here is patient A. She's going to be telling her story. So patient A.
Hi, so I live in Los Angeles. I am about 5 minutes from the ocean, from the Pacific Ocean. I walk there every morning. And I talked to Chris, a couple of months ago. He did a super huge long reading for me. Super huge. We talked about the earthquake, which he was reading about in public, and I wanted to get more information. And then he reached out to me recently, and we were having an email conversation. And that night, this was a few nights ago, I dreamt so super vividly that the earthquake was happening. It was in the middle of the night, and I was trying to find my phone to tell Chris, and it was really shaking. And I live in real life on the second story of a two-floor apartment building. And in the dream, it was shaking so hard that my apartment fell down, but onto the street. So it didn't fall down into the place before. It actually stayed intact and fell onto the street. And it had very little damage. And then the police came, 3 men, and they were trying to help me secure the parts that were open, like the windows. There was very little damage. And they were very helpful. And then I looked over at the apartment that was below me. I could see it next to me. It was very damaged, kind of caved in and hardly holding together. And that's actually all I can remember about the dream. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I do appreciate that, patient A. So we're going to take what she's given us today, and we're going to read what that potentially means. So let's take a look. And if you are new here, everything will be timestamped in the description below, so you will find everything today. We're going to be reading on her dream. We did a singable, so she also got action messages on singable for the new information about the upcoming big one. And we're also going to be reading as well as more information just using tarot cards. Again, everything will be listed in the description below. And if you are here, this is not live. I will be in the live chat, but I am not live right now when you are viewing this. Okay, so let's take a look. So for patient A, you all know who exactly she is. About her dream, what is it that we need to know about her dream? What is going on? And patient A, feel free to jump in periodically whenever I do reading. You can give your intuition as well, or your own interpretation.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so this is interesting because we have the Wheel of Fortune reverse. And this is very interesting because what this tells me that there was no sense of time here, right? It feels like there is no sense of time. It feels like it's just when, not if, but when. When is the thing going to happen? It feels like a lot of people in California know the thing is about to combust or explode. It's something that's been building up as long as the big one takes longer to actually come out into the open, the more energy that's pent up, right? We have here as well as we have the King of Wands, right? A lot of you all know this is during Donald Trump's presidency, but this is the conservative card. And what's just telling me that potentially this could be talking about the fact that during this time when the dream state is taking place, California could be having a Republican governor in office. Now, that does not mean much, but what that could mean is that could be pointing towards our current reality where California may potentially elect their very first Republican governor in a long time, which is very significant because the way I read tarot is it's telling me the surrounding areas and surrounding information that may take place and what we may see. We have here as well as we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands, excuse me. And what this is pointing to me is telling me here is that there's stuff that's going to happen. A lot of people are going to end up in a situation where they're going to be in major trouble. And that only those who are awake or those who have seek out knowledge or have their intuition turned on, they are going to know head first. So they're the one who's going to know first when the thing is happening. They're going to feel the energy, almost like they get a head start. We have here as well, all around everybody, it's going to be a lot of death. Right, and that's partly because that's part of everybody's soul contract. We have here the guy marching through. You see in the background the water, the wave, that's the tsunami. And we have here people passed out who drowned who the tsunami didn't pull back and take away, right? You see here the sun in the background with the two poles, but that used to be where the moon is. And what it's telling me that something that was so hidden is now coming out in the open, that this is something that had now come to fruition. So the message here is that if you feel in your intuition right now when you're watching this, that you feel like you need to get out of the state, this is a message for you that danger is coming ahead, danger ahead. This is a warning. Right, and above here we have here as well as we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Probably nine stories. And this is very interesting because this tells me here that a lot of you guys may be getting a lot of these very vivid dreams that are starting to become more frequent. A lot of you guys who have been with me on my channel, you all know this card means the future. When it's upright, like normally, it means the past, but in this case, it's the future. So you're getting vivid dreams from the future. And in this case, patient A, I'm talking to you. And you feel very worried about what can happen because you're worried about whether or not you'll be able to afford to have your own home be fixed or be able to relocate. Right, so this is a warning for you, but it's also a warning for everybody else in the state of California. Because we have the Four of Swords. And what it's telling me here is that there is an ending, a transition period that California is going to undergo. Right here, again, this card comes up again. I don't think I shuffled this, so that card was on the bottom. We're going to take a little bit more messages from the dream interpretation and kind of see what extra information your guys and our guys would like us to ask. The last time I read with patient A, we were together and she asked me, well, why would my guys put me in danger, put me on the water? Now, patient A lives on the water. And so I asked my guys, I could understand it. And then I understood it when they told me that the reason why they put patient A on the water was so that they learn how to run. So when the time comes, they can outpace it. Spirit Angel, please tell me about patient A's dream. What does it mean when she dreamt of the earthquake? Okay, we have the, okay, excuse me. That was bad. Okay. Anything else that you would like to give? That's too many. Anything else that you would like to give us about this dream or vision that she had? Now, remember, the reason why we're reading on it was because whenever you dream of something and you vividly remember, that means it's a message, not an actual dream. Which is why I do dream readings now about me with my dreams, because they're messages from my guys. So we have here, we have sweet reverse. Right, so this is interesting, sweet reverse. Then we also have here as well as we have children reverse, which is 8 and 18. Right, so potentially what is today date?
21st.
Yeah, so August 21st, right? So it's telling me here that 8/18. So right now we already passed August 18th, right? And what's this is very significant because it talked to me right here because 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17, right? So what this is referring to is that potentially this could take place 3 days after the general election. I mean, that's general election, but like the recall election in California. We have here children, we have children reversed, but look at this face, right? This is the face of the Atlantis, and here's the water coming towards them. The water is running. The fact that we have a beach card talking about an earthquake, because we talk when there's a massive earthquake, so does a tsunami come. I would not be surprised if that is a message to make sure your children are safe. We also have here as well as sweets. A lot of us have been eating the goody cookie, right? Thinking that we're invincible, that this thing can never happen to us, that, it hadn't happened, so why would it happen now? It's the attitude that a lot of us don't understand, right? It's pointing more to the energy of the Grinch here. If you look at the nose, it's very pointed. It's the illusion that we have fed ourselves. We're feeding ourselves an illusion, something that's not really there, just created with our own mind. And I'm not saying that this dream is created by this individual's mind. What I'm referring to here is that what has happened is that we've led ourselves to believe that no such disaster could ever take place. And we have here dog, right? And this is interesting because we have the dog card here. And look at this. So we have the dog card, and this is the number 12, right? But look at this dog, right? We have this human here, and look at the dogs flying towards one another. It's almost like as if, it's almost like it's a way of saying that death is upon us, that more people will start to go and transition into the next life because this is part of their soul contract. right? That people are going to start to disappear, right? This is the message from a spirit, guys. In the bottom deck we have here is exceptionality, right? The exception, the illusion of what took place, right? We're pointing to fingers, right? You see these people judging this individual, but this is the psychic, and these are two people talking, saying, oh, this person is crazy, but they're literally telling you beforehand where this thing's going to take place. They're pre-warning you, and that's why number 33. So that's what I got. Then let's see what Nisha has to add on. Is there any messages from Mother Gaia about patient A's dream? Okay, so we have here the stone people, which is vigilant, by staying vigilant, making sure that you are safe, making sure your people are safe. As you see here, the water is calm. Right in the bottom of the deck here, we have here, let's see what card is pumped up. Tsunami, wake up call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see if I can put this up. Can you guys see this? Can you see that?
Yep.
Is that clear now? Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So as you can clearly see, it means a wake up call. There's a wake up call that you need to wake up because this thing is coming, right? It potentially could take place sometime after the summer. Summer solstice means radiation, that there's enough energy now for this thing to actually combust. I have a feeling that your dream is more prosthetical than anything else. What do you have to say about that, patient A? What do you feel about the reading today? Do you feel like it's resonating with you? Do you feel chilled? How do you feel?
Hold on, let's see when the summer solstice is.
Well, the summer solstice, I think, is already ended, I believe.
It's already ended.
Yeah,
well, what popped out to me from the cards that you pulled was the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. And I don't know how to read dates in the cards, but I wondered if that could correspond to the 9th month of the year. That's what kind of came to me.
Okay, so let's take a look. So I have it written down. So we have here, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Wands. We have a lot of Wands energy here. We have Death, we have the 9 of Wands, we have the 9 of Swords, the 6 of Cup reversed, and we have the King of Pentacles with the 4 swords, right?
Yeah.
And so I wrote it down because, as you know, I read tarot with my intuition, but I wanted to get a little bit more of an in-depth reading on finding out when specifically that this may happen so that you guys can be more prepared. So we have here the wands mean day or summer, noon or day, right? So the specific date. So we have 9 here, 9 king. So it could be on 19. We have here is we have the two storage cards. So we have the 9 of storage and we have the 4 of storage. What could mean week, spring, morning, right? So that 9, we have another 9 here, so that could be the morning of the 9th month or the 19th, the morning of the 19th. We have here the cup, which is the month, autumn, afternoon. We have the cup here, so it could be on the 19th in autumn, the month of autumn. And we also have here about the pentacle, which is the year, winter, midnight. So it's going to happen at midnight. Let me just write this down. So it's going to happen at midnight, just to kind of make sure that you guys can hear me. Going to happen at midnight. It's going to be at a time and a place around noontime, but it's going to be towards the end of summer, towards the spring. So the date is 19th, so the 19th of fall. So whatever day is the 19th, so the fall month of 19th, so whatever day falls on the 19th, most likely to happen on the 19th. We have here the stories, which is talking about morning, so potentially it could be the week. Here we have the 4 weeks, so it could be the 4th week of whatever month of fall. It could also be as well as we have the month, which could be autumn, so most likely autumn. Then we have here midnight, so it's going to happen around midnight, the 19th, the fall. So what do you feel from that?
Well, that's interesting. You're saying the fall because in my singing bowl feedback, that's what I got too, was the fall.
Interesting. So let's talk about your feedback. So what I did was I wanted patient A to be able to get more information because when reading her dream, when she emails me, I felt like it wasn't some sufficient information in order for us to read on it. So I wanted to do a singing bowl. She actually got quite a lot of information and I wanted her to share that. So do you mind sharing about your singing bowl? And then at the end of the reading, we're going to do some more specific and kind of see more in-depth reading. But let's take a look at that as well. So going back to you, patient A.
Okay, sure. The first thing that I saw was a scene from Minority Report, which I told you is a movie that was made, what did I say? It's a futuristic sci-fi movie made in 2002, depicting the year 2054. It's based on a book by the same name, I think, that was, oh no, a short story by the same name that was written in 1954. And I think it was 1954. And it was a scene where Tom Cruise, right after he got his eyeballs surgically replaced, so that he could use the old eyeballs to get into where the precogs, the psychics are. There are these three psychics. I can't hear you. There's three psychics, and that's how they solve crime, is with these psychics. So anyways, he is getting his eyeballs replaced so he can use them like to get access to this building where they are. And in the scene I got was he was in the room after he'd had the surgery, getting healing from the surgery, and the clock was running, like he was running out of time. They were coming after him. That's what I saw first. Then I saw a scene of some trees on the East Coast, and it was in the autumn, in the fall time. Then I saw a glimpse of Halloween. And then I saw a scene from Ray Bradbury's book. I think it was Dandelion Wine, which is about a young boy. When I say it's in the summer of 1950 something, I cannot remember. It's in the summer of 1956. Thank you. And those were my main images. I also saw an elephant. I don't know what that means, but
it could be Republican. It could be Republican.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right. But anyways, the predominant piece of this to me was the fall.
Yeah, I agree with
the images. Yeah.
Could be what we ended up doing. Could be wanting to find out exactly what the Singapore means. To cover some of it down, but add more information on top of what she got. Was we talked about Tom Cruise, right? We're trying to figure out, well, why is Tom Cruise there? Don't we find out that Minority Report talked about the futuristic, right? Today is August 21st, 2021, right? And so they talk about the future, right? And the year is actually in the Minority Report, based on what we found, is the year 2054. And so if you take 1956 and you add each number individually and add them up, it'll come out to 21, which actually, believe it or not, I just realized today, it's actually the 21st when we're reading on this. And not only that, it's also the year 2021 as well. Precog, I wanted to add in extra information. Precog means psychic. So there's like a collection of, it's like a wing of the police officers where they are psychics who help find out criminals, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's about right. Yep.
Then he was trying to beat the clock, quote unquote. Then we have here, she said trees were falling down on the East Coast. And I said many times on my channel before, and you guys may remember me say this, that I always have felt, because I live on the East Coast, I live on an island, so this would hurt me, that there would be a tsunami that would sweep across the East Coast. So I don't know if that is referring to that specifically, or it just means that it's hurricane season. Was actually, believe it or not, we have a hurricane coming our way right now, Hurricane Henry. So we also have here, as well as you said, you have a glimpse of Halloween, once we did speak about the fact that the natural disaster could take place most likely this year alone. Then we also have here Ray Bradbury was talked about. Actually, you read me the quote. I don't know if you have the quote with you, but briefly, short. My version of it, it goes from summer to fall, which means that within the transition is the most likely opportunity for this thing to occur.
Yep.
So it seems to be the fall month seems to be the strongest for this. And I even said that many times when I was reading on this, that it's either going to take place during the early summer month or the late fall months as well. Yep. So we're going to take a nice deep dive into this. We're going to get a reading on this to kind of see what this may mean. Okay, so let's take a look at this, and now feel free, patient A, to intervene in any way you would like.
Sure.
Okay, so Spirit Angel, please tell me, why did patient A see Tom Cruise in her singing bowl vegetation? Okay, so we have here Tom Cruise with a message. He was sending a message. And now we all remember from earlier that this was a year. So the message here, we talked about the year, right? Oh my God, we wrote it down. What? So Pentacles means year, by the way, which is the time frame, right? And we talked about year 2050 to 2021. So the Tom Cruise means the year. That's what that means. So now, at least now we know confirmation from the tarot cards that that means the year and what's going to take place. So why do they choose that movie with Tom Cruise in it? Why not any other Tom Cruise movie? Why the one with precogs? Why the one with precock? Okay, so we have the cups reversed, 7 of cups reversed, challenged by the Queen of Pentacles. Again, the year challenging us. So this could potentially mean winter or midnight. It could mean winter or midnight, challenging the year, right? So potentially we're going to have some sense of bad winter, or it's going to take place during the midnight. And I do see that this is like the full clock. Maybe when during this may take place during a full moon. We also have here as well the 7 of cups reversed, was talked about the month, autumn, or afternoon. So it's telling me here that this is not going to take place during the afternoon, but it's the month of autumn. Most likely it's going to take place during autumn. Why does she get trees falling down on the East Coast? Does that mean the tsunami that I foresaw? Does that mean something else? What does that mean? Too many. We'll just use that card that came. Again, we have the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Cups was come down for the 7. Right, so the 8 of Cups is the autumn again. So we potentially could be talking about the afternoon. So maybe potentially from midnight to afternoon. So anytime within that frame is most likely to occur. Okay, and then we have the 2 of Pentacles reversed. So there's a lot of Pentacle and Cup energy here. What it's referring to is the fact that this most likely may happen, but most likely not going to happen during the winter. Most likely going to happen very strongly in the month of November and October. Sometime during Scorpio month, more like it. Why does she get a glimpse of Halloween? That's an interesting interpretation. Actually, let me get my Halloween deck. We're going to be using the Halloween Oracle. Trying to see what messages that may give us. Sorry. So please tell me, why did patient A get the glimpse of Halloween when referring to the message that we did today with the single bowl? Why does she get the month of Halloween? Why does she see Halloween specifically? Is that when it's going to occur, the natural disaster? What does that mean? Give me one card. One card, please, only. One card. What does that mean? Take the top? Okay. So this is what the Halloween means. It means spider, community, and web wearing. Weaving. So basically what this means is that we need to come together as a collective to be able to figure it out. But if you look here on the sign here on the little symbol on the back of the spider, it looks like a wave. But it also shows wind. What brings waves is a wind. It needs wind to be able to pull the water towards us. So it needs that the community here, web weaving, we need to piece it together, come together now before it's too late. Right? And at the bottom, what?
Oh, sorry. You know what that reminds me of is the Minority Report story, and there's the 3 precogs, and they're trying to put the story together with the different pieces. Different people have different pieces of the story, and the Tom Cruise character is trying to like chase it down, all the pieces. So that goes with what you're saying there.
Right, that makes sense. That would make sense. On the bottom deck here, we have his apple, risk and reward. That there's not only a risk, but there's also a reward, and the reward is helping as many people as we can, even if it puts you at risk, right? Which is interesting. So that is what Halloween means. And I'm going to have a little look at Ray Raspberry, some of the fall transition. I'm going to use none other than Natural Earth card itself. What does that mean? What does this mean in patient A's singing bowl? Okay. When it comes to summer to fall transition. Okay. And one more final outcome card. Okay, we had this card came up before, right? When we were talking about this earlier for you specifically. We have DNA karma, right? What California is going through is karma. A lot of it was supposed to happen because we haven't paid attention. We haven't been able to help each other. And this relates more to the karmic destiny of COVID-19. I feel like COVID-19 is going to enhance it because the energy is so strong because we have become so divided that in order to unite us, we have to have something so big, so significant that we have no choice but to be there for one another. Right, that's in the middle, right? In the past, we have purification, right? When the last time that it occurred, we have purification, right? In the state of California, when this natural disaster struck California. And it's telling me here that this took around, the last time it occurred, maybe been around the dinosaurs. I'm not exactly sure about that is correct. But it feels like there was some purification, almost like it got rid of and renewed the land, right? We have here in the past, the final outcome card is recreation. Dream time, right? A lot of what is happening because we're actually manifesting this thing. You can see here all the souls, right? The souls here coming in. And a lot of that would all come through the fact that we're not manifesting the right thing. And because we're thinking so negatively, maybe about vaccines or the virus and not taking care of one another, that we're actually bringing all this hatred energy, and all that energy is being pent up into San Andreas fault line, which is going to end up exploding. We have here as well is because of that, the challenge is the movement. Changing it, the question is, do we have enough time to change the direction of our destiny, and will we get there in time? The question is, it's up to you. That's the challenge. The challenge is, as a collective, can we get there in time? And the bottom of that here is we have communication. We need to communicate with one another, right? Because this is a sign, the way that we treated one another, especially toward Native Americans and the other minorities, the way we treated with one another, we have to come together. We have to see them as a valid human being, because if you don't, this will happen simply because you didn't see another individual as they should be. Because again, we are all connected as one, which means the way you treat somebody else is the way that you're going to treat, the way you're going to receive it back. Remember, all of us are connected, which means we're connected back to Earth, which explains why all the energies are all pent up there. So what do you think about that, Patient A?
I think that sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty right on, generally.
Are you getting anything from your intuition?
Anything extra? No.
You get chilled, you get like, you feel like it's accurate, you can tell me if not, because I always like to make sure that, you know, because this is what you saw, so yeah. I wanted to know specifically, how you feeling?
I'm not getting chills, but I do think we're onto something. You're onto something potentially with the fall. I got summer to fall, and you're saying the same thing, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, true, right. Yeah. And we talked about this previously too in April. So yeah. If you are watching, just come on. Remember, this is not live. This is just a pre-recording. So I will be in a live chat, but I am not physically live with you guys right now. So please keep that in mind. But again, if you want to watch all my previous videos about the tsunamis and other natural disaster events, of course, check them in the description below. Everything will be listed there. Or as well, at the end of the video, I'll also have the playlist being recommended to you at the end of the video in case you want to check out any other natural disasters, or like read on what I got back then and compare it to what I have now. You know, everything does change. Time is nothing is set in stone. Time is fluid, so things do change, and we try to read on them to keep up to date, so we can make sure all of us are stable. All right, so let's hop off for a second. Oops.
Okay.
So we quickly talked, and we think we have enough sufficient information. We don't want to make the video too long. If you want us to do a part 2, or if you're interested in telling me about your dream or what you got, maybe it doesn't have to be natural disaster. I'll be also opening up a form soon on my channel where you guys can submit requests, and I will meet with you, and we go on Zoom, and you don't have to be on camera, just like Patient A, and your name will be cleared out. And if you want to tell me about your alien experience or your alien encounter, anything that you would like to add, or any sort of dreams, interpretation, I'll be doing those type of videos on my channel now. So if you do like this video, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all for coming. I do appreciate it. I do hope you guys love this message and love the video. Please put a caution. Please make sure that your intuition is in check. Make sure you listen to your intuition. Make sure you meditate. Remember, the best thing that we can do for ourselves is to prepare. So please prepare. Don't be in fear. If you're in fear, you're not going to be able to think clearly. So make sure you think clearly and prepare ahead of time now for any possible situation. Please do not have an evacuation route in terms of car. Remember, cars, like I said, infrastructure is not going to be reliable. So make sure you find other avenues other than actual car. So make sure you can run by foot. All right, guys, I love you. I hope you have a very beautiful night. I hope you find this message to be informative. I love you. Bye.